Let's get to business because I've got a lot to say. And all of it's really good, to be quite honest with you. And let me explain myself. Outside of the hiring of Steve Yzerman, who already had a legitimate track record of running an organization, outside of that, I've never felt better at a hiring of a president of ops / GM / czar of an organization than what you just heard. And I want to explain why. No, it's not because I hate Al Avila. No. Scott Harris is impressive.
Yeah,
and he's
he is.
impressive for a reason. You guys know. Now, Rico busted my balls during the press conference off the air because I do think it has never been more important in baseball than right now to hire someone young, someone with vision, someone who's analytics driven.
And I wasn't busting your balls,
No, it's
Mike.
okay.
No. You are an analytics guy. You run numbers. I mean, even when we're off the air and I call you at home, you're still running numbers. We're yin and yang. I'm more of the old school. I need to see what it is.
I know.
You are, hey, this % of the time this is going to happen.
You're Mr. Touch and Feel.
I didn't want to say that.
I did. The point is, I think what I liked. Now, he has to deliver on these things, but I'm telling you what I liked, and I'm giving you the reasons. And if you guys want to attack those reasons, support those reasons, here's your phone number, 248-539-9797. Scott Harris is going to give you a Detroit Tigers way. You always hear about, the Yankee way or the Tampa way. That's what this guy continued to drive back on, which is a culture of development, a culture of aggressiveness. We're going to take risks. We're not going to be risk averse.
Bringing innovation in here.
And which to me, and I hope we get him later in the show, to me means he pink slips just about everybody in this organization.
No, and I think, and maybe it was just me watching the whole press conference when I think it was Stoney who asked about the farm system. And he was like, look, I haven't met any of these guys. I don't know anything about the farm system except for basically what I knew working with the Giants, followed by a little bit of a chuckle.
Right.
Which kind of tells you he's probably thinking, yeah, we used to make fun of this farm system because you don't have one.
Yeah.
Or we knew if you called us, take that call because we're about to fleece you.
And listen, I like that he said straight up, this winter we're going to make a ton of moves. We're going to create a far better baseball team. And look, not every move is going to be something we know about. Not every move is going to be a highly publicized one. But everything you read about Scott Harris, great personality, engaging, good public speaker. He's also a killer. I am encouraged because the dude sounds like he has a plan. Sounds like he knows he's got to come in and basically flip this thing on its head. And you know what else it sounds like? And I think ultimately this is best for everybody. Here's what Chris did today. Wash my hands of it. This guy has complete control.
He does.
See, part of the reason this thing got driven into a ditch is because Al maybe needed a little supervision.
Okay, but as of right now, it looks that way, Mike. We will see.
I know.
If Chris says, here's the checkbook, here's a pen, go do what you got to do.
Within reason.
Send me the bill later.
Right, within reason.
I trust you. Now, if you're going off talking about a $300 million contract,
that's different.
Now you got to call me. But anything other than that, do what you got to do. Make this team better because, I think the allure of this job, and for anybody who does, construction or house or fixing up houses, sometimes it's easier to fix the house when it's just hit rock bottom, when everything has to go.
Well, you take it to the sticks.
Yeah, while we're at it, let's just knock down this wall. Let's do this. Let's do that. You dig it all the way down to the studs, and that's what this is right now. I mean, he couldn't answer the question because he's like, look, I don't know anybody. I haven't seen anybody. Haven't met anybody, which I think is good, which means there's no sacred cows on this team. He didn't really even answer the question about Miguel Cabrera. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do a lot of work in the offseason. I'm going to put the time in, and we're going to do, what was it, risk? We're not going to be afraid to go risk averse.
No, we're going to take risks. We have to. I liked his comment regarding you can't copy other organizations because you end up just chasing them.
Yeah.
I have my own things I want to do, and I'm not sharing them.
That was a pretty deep statement, but you're right. Like, yeah, if you're copying other organizations, they're already better at it than you are.
Right.
So you'll never catch them.
Look, we're at a time right now, I guess, where we've lived for so long with our teams being bad. But I feel like we've turned a corner here. And what I mean is the last franchise that I had no belief in was the Tigers. We believe in Brad Holmes. We believe in Troy Weaver. We certainly believe in the Iser plan. The Tigers were like the pimple that didn't go away. I'm telling you, I believe in Scott Harris based on what he had to say. What his resume says. He got up there, and look, winning a press conference doesn't mean you're winning a World Series. But this guy is polished. He's buttoned up. I like that he's young. I like that he's aggressive. I like that he's well-spoken. I like that he has a plan. He's open about this is what we have to create, and I like that at least on surface, you felt the vibe. Chris ain't got nothing to do with this. So he can stay up at Pizza 1 and do whatever the hell he's doing. I'm sure he's going to get right back to work on the district, and Scotty's just going to run the baseball team. Now, I think the comment... What? Why? I mean, look... Right, it's almost done.
You know what? I want to throw the flag, but I can't.
You can't. So, look, now he's got a lot of time. His baseball team won't take up any of his time. He can go finish that. Or get it started. The point is...
Why are you doing this to me?
Because I can't. The point is, I loved what I heard. It gives me some hope, and I want to know if you, the listener, share in the hope.
Yeah.
That's as much as I can give you guys.
I like the fact he says, he wants to get young players. I'll be interested to see how that happens. Is it through drafting? Is it through trades? But they're gonna. He's been tagged to build a culture here. He's been tagged to raise this thing down and build it back up. I don't know how long that's going to take. They tried to get him to say what it was, but I mean, he was smart enough to know, guys, I can only reiterate, I haven't met any of these people. I don't know what you got in the farm system. I only know what we thought about you as a Giants GM, followed by some giggles.
Right.
So that kind of tells me he doesn't think much of the farm system as well. We'll figure this thing out. Man, it's going to be a tough sell for Detroiters to tell them that 7-year rebuild, psych.
Oh, it's sunk cost.
Didn't really happen.
It's sunk cost. It's like if you've ever waited outside of a bar or a nightclub or whatever it may be, and you've been out there for however long. It doesn't matter if you walk away and go to another bar or you see it through. It's sunk cost. That time's gone.
Yeah.
You don't get it back.
Yeah.
So you have to accept that Al Avila is one of the worst general managers in the history of planet Earth, and possibly dating back to when dinosaurs were general managers of dinosaur teams. Al Avila was horrific. But we don't get that time back. All you get is now. And look, you'll be able to tell in 3-4 months what he's trying to do based on the moves they make. The types of players they go acquire or don't acquire, who gets traded, who gets fired, who gets reassigned. And then when they start playing games, really the whole idea is you watch certain franchises, they do things certain ways. And then you learn this is what their MO is. Mm-hmm. We're going to learn. So, look, I'll be interested who the quote GM is. I do wonder if A.J. Hinch could have a dual role. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Because really, this dude's running the operation, and we all know it.
We'd have to wait and see. And that's what it is. I need to know that he truly is running the operation, and he is just only going up to Mr. Illich for the big ticket items.
Right.
Okay, I know you said you didn't want this, but here's why we need to get this guy. He's very analytic. He's going to come in there with the numbers of this is why, this is what's happening. We're going to try to do things our own way, not the way that, the Yankees do things, right, or the Mets do things, or Atlanta does things.
He didn't leave his hometown if he wasn't going to be given carte blanche. Right. I think that's a fair statement, right? He had to tell his fiance, honey, I love you.
Take a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge, right, because now you're going to see the ambassador.
Right. We're not living in Calistoga. Surprise! we're going to Detroit. So you're not doing that if you don't have full control. I just feel like the Tigers always lacked credibility with Al Avila, that there was an amateurism to it. This guy has credibility in my mind.
Yeah.
Now, if he comes here and he shows his ass, well, that's a whole different conversation. But I can tell you from Jump Street, I can buy in. I can buy into it. I can believe in it. I liked his rationale. There's a complete plan here, which is something I've always talked about, is they got to blow this thing up sky high.
Yeah. No more, hey, we're just here for Miggy's victory lap. We're here for Miggy's victory lap for the last couple of years because that's what this thing felt like.
Right.
Miggy night, we're going to do this with Miggy and Miggy. And it's like, okay, but you're not really trying to win. You're just putting on a circus. And let's hope that you now become a team. What does it take to get the Tigers to become a have instead of a have-not? Because you've been have-nots for a long time.
And the reality is the division's wide open. There's no monolith here. You don't have the Dodgers here, the Yankees here, the Rays here. This is wide open. None of these other teams in this division are some great shakes. I mean, the White Sox have Bernie Lomax as their manager. The Guardians spend $10. Miggy makes more money than their whole roster. The Twins are the Twins. Mm-hmm. The Royals are, please. I mean, they're in the gutter. So, look, there's an opportunity. I'm on board with it. Guys, I know it's football season. I know this is, as Lomas would say, I'm asking you to talk baseball in the middle of football, but if I don't do a segment...
Technically, we're still in the middle of baseball, but...
You're right. It's not over. 248-539-9797. I want to know, did that resonate with you? And if you don't like what I had to say, if you think somehow come on, Mike, you're easily fooled, go ahead. Let's have a convo. But I feel like right here, right now in this town, we got 4 GMs who know what the hell they're doing. And that's the first step into us regaining some joy out of any of this. I liked it. I like what I heard. Let's see what Scott Harris is all about.
Yeah, how about the fact that, with Scott Harris, we won't forget that it's still baseball season. Because he came in the middle. It does feel like the season's over. It's not. Still another month.
I literally got on the radio saying, hey, I know it's football season. Cutscene. Mike, there's still 25 games left. All right, how do you want to do this? What are we doing?
Let's continue this. Let's take some calls.
Can we take calls? Let's go. Yes, radio, JT 97.1. What's up, JT?
Good afternoon.
I'll give you one.
So, Mike, real quick, I've heard you say before you thought A.J. Hinch was the best manager in baseball, and I'm going to disagree vehemently because I think Tito Francona is the best manager in baseball because, as you said, he does it with a $10 an hour budget.
I'm cool with that. I'm not going to argue that. You can have that. There's your win. All right, what does that have to do with Scott Harris?
My thing with Scott Harris is you said he came across well and everything. Well, the guy went to Columbia. That's not really surprising. I'm not sold. I'm kind of like Doug. I'm optimistic, but I'm not necessarily sold on the guy because I don't see anything that he did at San Francisco per se to make, that was a pretty darn good organization. It's been for a long time. And, I mean, the fact that he worked under Theo Epstein with the Cubs, that's fine. They had a huge payroll at that time, too. So I'm kind of more in wait-and-see mode. I think the analytics piece is, to delve deeper into that is a good thing.
What I would say is this. You're not wrong in anything you're saying. I have no problem if you're in wait-and-see mode.